Hello everyone. You'll be wanting to take notes on this, talking about how to figure out what key signature we're in. What you want to do, we're going to talk about flat key signatures first, and I'll do the same key signature for bass or treble clef and for bass clef. So let's talk about this first key signature. Two flats, B flat and E flat. Now the order of flats will always be the same. You always read flats left to right, just like we do words. We read left to right. Now there's an order for them, and if you can remember this, it makes things a lot easier. It's B, E, A, D, G, C, F. Now I kind of remember them in an easy way by thinking bead, GCF, or bead, greatest common factor, or whatever it takes, whatever device you need to help you remember the order of flats. But they will always appear in this order. For instance, you couldn't have a key signature that has an A flat in it that also did not include B flat and E flat. So as we look at this first key signature we're looking at, we have two flats. The first two flats, and the order of flats is B flat and E flat. Again, B flat in the bass clef and E flat in the bass clef. So now how do we figure out what the name of this key is, though? All you have to do is you go to the last flat, or the one furthest to the right, and you count that as number 1. Always write number 1 next to it, otherwise you'll get confused and you'll be off. If you're off by 1, it's wrong. So you want to make sure you count that as 1. And then you just count down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like we did in our intervals, we count down 4. We end up on this line with that note. And then all we have to do is name that note. So we look at the name of this note, and we say, well, this is a B. It's on the B line. The key signature has a flat in it. So the name of this key is B flat. It's really that simple. There's nothing more difficult about that. It doesn't matter if there's 1 flat, 5 flats, 6 flats. The process is all the same. It doesn't change at all. So let's go again. Let's try it now with 4 flats. So we know 4 flats. It's going to be B flat, E flat, A flat, and D flat in our key signature. So B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat. The bass clef, E flat, E flat, A flat, and D flat. Again, same process. There's more flats, but it's not any more complicated, if it is even complicated, than we did with 2 flats. So we look at, again, the last flat, the one furthest to the right, and we name it. What's the name of that last flat? Well, if we know the order of our flats, B, E, A, D, G, C, F, we know the last flat is D flat. Or, hopefully, we know that the 4th line or the 3rd line of bass clef is the D line. So then we take that and we count down 4. Again, the D flat is number 1, and then we go down 4. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, and we name, that note. So in treble clef, the 2nd space, or in bass clef, the 1st space, that is called A. And then we look in our key signature, we notice that there's a flat. And so the name of this key signature is A flat. Okay. Let's do one more. Now this one will have 3 flats, B flat, E flat, and A flat. So we're going to count down. We're going to count down 4. Again, we go to the last flat. In this case, it's the A flat. Count down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We end up on that line. Now, for bass clef, so we don't extend down below the staff, which can just get complicated with ledger lines, we're going to knock this A flat up to the higher octave. Remember what we said, the octave, it's 8 notes above, so we go up to the next A flat. That would be up here, and let's count down from here. Is 1, 2, 3, 4. We end up right there. So let's look at this in a treble clef. We know we're on E, bass clef, we're on E. We put E down. Now we have to see what was in the key signature. So then we scan across and we say, oh, there's nothing on that line. But you have to be careful because there is an E flat in the key signature. Just because it's up here doesn't mean it doesn't affect this one. The flats affect every B, E, and A, no matter which octave they appear in. So low or high, it doesn't matter. If there's an E, it's going to be flatted because that key signature indicates that. So we're here. Here in the bass clef, it's a little easier to see because they are on the same space as that flat. So the name of this key signature is E flat. There's only one that you have to memorize, and that's this key. No sharps, no flats. That is the key of C. Okay? Very simple. So the order of flats, B, E, A, D, G, C, F. Then all you do is count down 4 from the last flat, and you'll come up with, name the note, and you come up with your key signature. Now let's talk about sharps. Now we knew that the order of flats was B, E, A, D, G, C, F. Now the order of sharps is the exact opposite. So flats go this way, sharps come back this way. So your first sharp is going to be F, and then the second sharp would be C, and then G, then D, A, E, and B. Okay? So they just reverses the order. If you know the order of flats, you'll know the order of your sharps. So here we have our 2 clefs. Let's just talk about one sharp. So we have one sharp, we know it's going to be F sharp. It will always be F sharp, no matter what. Now to figure out your sharps, now we think about flats. Now flats we count it down, but think about that for a second. When you have a flat, when something is flat, it's usually lower. A flat tire is lower. Anything flat, the pitch of your instrument, when it's flat, it means it's under the pitch that we're trying to get to. Sharps, of course, are the opposite. Remember this? Opposite direction. So sharps raises everything. So flats we count down 4, but for sharps, all we do is we go to the last sharp and we go up 1/2 step. So for an F sharp, 1/2 step above that would be G. So the name of this key is G. Let's add a sharp. Now if we look at our order of sharps, we know it's going to be F sharp, and the next one's going to be C sharp. So I'm going to add those in to each clef. Now we're going to figure out the name of this key by going to the last sharp, the one furthest to the right, and now we're going to go up 1/2 step. That puts us right here on the next line, and the name of that note is D. We look in our key signature, there's no sharps, there's no D sharp yet, so we know it's just the key of D. So let's review. Your order of flats, B, E, A, D, G, C, F. When you're trying to figure out your flats, you go to the last one or the furthest one to the right. You count down 4, because remember a flat lowers things. And then name the note. That's it. For sharps, again, go to the last sharp. The one furthest to the right. Except for this one, we're going to go up, because sharps raise things. Up 1/2 step. And then name the note. So flats, down 4, sharps, up 1/2 step, and that will give you the name of your key signature.